everything to submit to you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' name we worship. Amen. John chapter 2. Book of John chapter 2. And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus said unto him, They have no wine. Jesus said unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. His mother said unto the servants, Whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece. Jesus said unto them, Fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he said unto them, Draw out now, and bear unto the governor of the feast. And they bare it. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew. The governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and said unto him, Every man at the beginning doth set forth good wine, and when men are well drunk, then that which is worse. But thou hast kept the good wine until now. This beginning of miracles did Jesus in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him. Praise the Lord. At the end of every miracle that Jesus did is this statement. It is him manifesting forth his glory. At the end of all miracles, it was Jesus manifesting his glory. Every man has a glory that God has bestowed upon you. And when God chooses to begin to allow you manifest your glory, it is not just to satisfy your own self, but to satisfy what he has put in you, to satisfy himself. Because the end of everyone that is called a believer is glory. In Romans chapter 8, verse 30, it says, Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also did what? Glorified. So the end of everyone who is called, predestined by God, is glory. And it's important for us to know so that we can align our hearts according to what God has in plan for us. So if you don't see glory yet, you know that you've not gotten to that point. There has to be glory that is coming out from you. So if you are predestinated, we all understand that before we came to the earth, there was a plan for us. God already set out a plan for us. God already set out a mission for us before he sent us here. Right? That is a pattern in which God builds. First, he has something in mind, then he accomplishes what is in his mind, and then he starts it in reality. So whatever God is, you see God starting, he has already completed it. Before there can be a starting, there has to be a completion with God. So if you see God doing anything, just know for a fact that he has completed that thing. So if you see a child about to be born, know for a fact that everything about that child has been completed. And the end of that child is glory. So as long as that child works according to the plan of God, you will see glory at the end. It is non-negotiable. You will and you must see glory at the end. So when God begins something in your life, the end of that thing is glory. It is already accomplished, and so he puts the burden in your heart. But the end of it all, you will see glory. That is why you see every miracle that Jesus did. He said, what I see my Father do, that is what I do. So he sees that his Father has already done this, then he does it. And then there is the glorification that comes with him doing that thing. Are we together? Them that he called, he justified, and whoever is justified, he does what? He glorified. To glorify. Now, what does it mean to glorify? There are many definitions, but I'll just give you one. To show, to exhibit, to declare, to pronounce. To show, to exhibit, to declare, and to pronounce a particular thing or a particular person. A particular thing or a particular person. Are we there? So sometimes it's like boasting about a particular thing or boasting about a particular person. To announce a particular thing or to announce a particular person, right? To exalt a particular thing or to exalt a particular person. So that is what it means to glorify. So when you go back to our text in John chapter 2, he said, after Jesus did this thing, what happened? His disciples believed on him. Because that miracle was not just a doing, it was God trying to announce, God trying to glorify, trying to exalt a person. So at the end of that miracle, that exaltation was there. And then the disciples were able to do what? Believe on him. But that was not the first time that they've been with Jesus. This was just the first miracle that he did. So up until this point, Jesus had been teaching them. They have been walking with him. I'm sure they have had many, many lessons. And now there was an opportunity to manifest everything that he has been telling them. The first time ever, something was done. And then they saw a miracle. Water was turned to wine. Are we together? Now let's get back to what I want to teach. Jesus finds himself in the midst of a people, in a wedding. And for the wine to finish, that means Jesus was part of the people that exhausted the wine at that party. That's why I said the Son of Man came eating and drinking. Jesus knew how to have fun and how to relax. He knew how to mingle with men and how to mingle with God. Now he's in this party and a problem arises. I'm sure it was strange to the people there that the wine actually got finished. But this was happening so that God can do what? Glorify him. Are we together? This was happening so that God can glorify him. That means that when there is a glorification about to happen, God will create a problem that only you can solve. When there's a glorification about to happen, God will create a problem that only you can solve. If everybody can solve that problem, then it will not lead to your glorification. It can easily be ascribed to anybody. Oh, this person can also do this thing. That is why they don't pay you too much in your company, because everybody can do what you can do. Am I speaking to somebody? It's not you, I'll be okay. I'm talking to myself. Okay, Stephen, that's why they don't pay you too much, because everybody can do what you can do. So when God chooses to glorify you, it will create a problem that you are the only person that can solve it. I'm choosing my words very carefully. You are the only person that can solve it. Even if there's any other person there that can do what you can do, God will make sure that that day they don't come to work. God will make sure that that day they have stomach pain, or their hand is paining them. I need you to understand what glorification is, because it is God is he has no other choice, because he has bound himself by his word. And remember, he said he exalts his word more than he exalts his name. So when his word says, them that he has predestinated, he has called. Them that he has called, he has justified. Them that he has justified, he has what? He will glorify. So God is bound himself to glorify you. And so one of the things it does is to create a problem that you are the only person that can solve it. So he says that they should what? His mother came to him and said, they have no wine. And what did she say? Woman, what have I got to do with this? My time has not come. And I've taught something along this line before. My time has not come. So I will not dwell on that. But then he says what? Gather. There were 6 water pots. And he didn't pray. He didn't do anything special. He just said, take from it and go and give to the governor of the priest of the feast. Everything you need to accomplish that which is impossible to another man is there with you. Everything that you need to accomplish that which is impossible to another man is literally in your vicinity today. I'll say it again. Everything you need to accomplish that which is impossible to another man is within your vicinity today, even though you don't see it. It is there. But when it is time for your glorification, then God opens your eyes. You're not just seeing a water pot anymore. You are seeing wine in a water pot. You're talking 20 to 30 gallons of water in each water pot. They were there. Everybody saw water pot. But one person was started seeing what? A wine pot. Not a water pot again. So it was seeing what other people are not seeing. Why? Because God has shone light on the water pot. So everything that you actually need for your glorification is there within you. It's there around you. One way or the other, God has put it around you. But until the time of your glorification, you may not even see it. It's there. It's not something that is far-fetched. You don't have to go and look for the water. The water is there. Now, you may come and say, oh, but the wine that they have been taking all this while is nice. I mean, he tasted of the wine himself. So you might be wondering, how do I do something better? How do I bring a wine that is better than the wine that they already, everybody already took? Everybody knew that this is from the best wine parlor in the whole of Israel. When it's time for your glorification, the wine that will come from you will taste better than anything that anybody has tasted. That which will come out of you will be better than anything that any other man has tasted. You have to understand it and you have to believe it. That no matter how many people have already served wine before, when it is time for you to serve your own wine, there will be something better. They said of Jesus that never man, they sent soldiers to go and bring him. And when they came back with a report that never man spake like this. Everybody has been speaking, but there is something unique about this man speaking. There is something different about the way this man is speaking. There is something unusual about the way this man is speaking. That even if you try to ignore him, you cannot ignore the fact that this wine is sweeter. Even if you try to ignore him, you cannot ignore the fact that there is something more about this wine other than what you have been tasting all this while. Regardless of how many people have created wine or made wine before, when it is time for your glorification, God will put something unique in your own wine, specially made because of you. So when you begin to walk in your purpose, even though you can start with water, it may not taste as much as with the ones that you have been tasting, but keep at it, because when it is time for your glorification, there is a sweetener that will be added to your water. The problem now is, how do you serve water to a governor? How do you carry water and serve it to a governor? Because in your mind, all this while that you have been doing it, there's nothing special about what you are doing. There is nothing more to what you are doing. You have just been doing it, and sometimes for religious sake, you have been doing it. Are we together? So a person is I'm trying to use another example apart from people that are here, but let me just use it. So for instance, a singer, wonderful worshiper, and you have been serving, and what you're serving is been tasting like water. Let me not really say, thank God for what you are serving. Thank God for what you are serving. But when the time for your glorification comes, there's going to be an added sweetener. That the same way you have been serving it before, nothing different. It was the same servants that went to serve the water. The same way you have been serving it before, nothing different. But this time around, there's going to be something added to it that's going to turn your water into wine and make it taste better than what any other person has tasted before. You can cast your mind through the body of Christ. Every time a new person comes forth, there is always something different that the person is coming with. That it will make you almost abandon every other person and just start listening to this person over and over again. Are we together? No. Like I said, the problem is, how do you serve water to a person that has tasted wine good enough? The only way you can solve that problem is through faith. The only way you can solve that problem is through faith. Faith is what? Faith is what? Evidence of what? Now, the faith of Jesus Christ was more than the faith of the servants. He did not really care about what the servants think. All he knew was that this water right now has become what? Wine. So even though the servants took that thing with a shred of doubt in their mind, Jesus had no doubt. Jesus had no doubt in himself that this that you're taking to this is wine. So as you serve your gift, as you serve your unique talent, always have it at the back of your mind that you're serving wine to the King. You're serving wine to the King. Now the Bible said that do all that you do as unto who? The Lord. Meaning that when you're serving your gift, you're not serving it in the case of, oh, these people that are here are not so, I will keep the good parts until when I now meet the people that I can actually know. Do all that you do as what? Unto the Lord. So even if it is the people that cannot pay you that are receiving your gift, you do it as if you are doing it unto the Lord. That is why he said, he did not just go and say, go and carry one and serve to everybody. Serve it to the king. Serve it to the king. So a person is a graphic designer. A person is a graphic designer. And somebody comes and pays 2,000 naira for a design. And in your mind, you know that you go and look for one free template that maybe you used for somebody in the past and just change the headline. I'm trying not to use, I don't know why these examples are coming to my mind. I'm sorry. So you just change one or two things, and after 5 minutes, send it in. Say how much you pay, 2,000. And that person pays 25,000, and you take 1 week. It's not like the thing is taking 1 week. It's just that to make the person feel like this thing actually take me time. But the Bible is saying when you're serving your water, serve it as if you're serving it to who? The king. Don't bother about whether the people there can pay you as much as the king can reward you. No. Your mindset is all that you are doing it unto God. All that you are doing it unto God. Let God be the receiver. Because that is in essence the service of your gift. It is literally unto God. Whether you like it or not, it is to God. God gave it to you so you can serve people, and then in return can get back to Him. So don't ever look at the fact that it's not, but what? I beg. Just water, just give it out like that. No. Because you don't know the day that water will change to wine. No, you don't. It is not given to you to know. He said, "This is your faithfulness that you will be rewarded. Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the reward of your king." So when you begin to serve your water, don't get complacent. Don't get to the point that, because the devil will make you feel like that. That who are the people here? Look at them. The riffraff, the beggar. Remember when the king went to go and call people to the wedding? He told them to go to the wayside and go and call everybody there, carry them, whether they want to come or not, just carry them and come. So you can imagine the people that were at the wedding. And at that point, Jesus was nothing yet, because this was his first miracle. All he did was just to teach, and then he had disciples. So as they invited his mother said, "Dear boy, Mama Anna is having a wedding tomorrow. Please, please come along." And tell the disciples, "Alpha, at the go wedding, see, we go with thee." So he was literally nothing at that point. Because if they knew who he was, then they should have come to him first, and not his mother, that they needed wine. So you can just see normal people that were just in the wedding, nothing significant about them. So don't let the devil blind your mind saying that, beg, working in an office and beg, I just do the work, look at it go. And you know you are gifted enough to do that thing. Don't just serve the water. Serve it in such a way that, is this something that God can turn to wine? Serve that water with the mindset that if God chooses to turn this one to wine, is this something that can actually be turned to wine? Because you don't expect God to bless mediocrity. You can't expect God to bless mediocrity, even though He wants to glorify you. That's why He said, whatever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all of thy might. So at every juncture, at every point that you get to serve your gift, you serve it with utmost diligence, to the best of your ability, such that if God decides to pick anyone at all and turn it to wine, it will not be at this one, the color no good for you. This one, the lightning is bad. No. This one she didn't sing well, or this one you didn't sing well. Let's just wait, maybe next week. Let's just wait, maybe next week. Let's just wait, maybe next month. Let's just wait, maybe next year. And then you now begin to elongate and delay your own glorification. Are you with me? Because you can do that. Suppose God chooses to glorify you today, and that is the day you now said, this thing I'm not going to do well again. Make a leave. Anyhow where I do finish, it's to consign me. Now they work. Suppose that is the time when God has chosen to glorify you. What do you then say? Will you say God is unfaithful? You will stand before him that day and tell him that all the one I've been doing, I just chose that. That time you chose to, that was when I chose your glorification. And then you say God is a just God. You will not be able to blame him, because you will see it before your face that you yourself hindered your glorification. Every time Jesus opened his mouth to teach, you know that there was substance coming out. He didn't say that the people that are here are 5,000, the people that are here are 12. Whether it is the 12, whether it is the 5,000 or 10,000, it doesn't matter. He always delivered substance. Always on point. From Matthew chapter 1 to the end, he always delivered substance. Look at the life of Paul. Always delivering substance. To the point that till this day, we are still thinking about the words that they said. What if, as he was writing to the Corinthians, said, you slept with your father's mother. All of you are rubbish. This letter today is rubbish letter I'm going to write. Destroy and just put an average letter out. We say Ephesians, this one they gave me good honorarium. And then your beloved brother, he who is seated with Christ in the heavenly places. If you told Paul that his letters were going to be what he was going to constitute the third of the New Testament today, I'm sure he would not have believed you. Because in his mind, he was just read the letter and then throw it inside fire. But there was wine in that letter, so that God cannot allow it to be thrown away. Look at how many years, all the persecution that the church has gone through, yet the letters remained. Something you write with paper, it was too easy to be thrown away. From Rome to Ephesus, from one way or the other, the person carried the paper would have fallen into the sea and it would have gone. But when you give out wine, God himself will back up your wine. The water did not pour on the ground as they were carrying it to the king. It went there full. The jar was full and they gave it to the king. Let someone from 10 years to come look at your wine and say, yes, this is wine indeed. Whether you are there or not does not matter. Even if you leave the place you are working, let it be that somebody comes and they ask, who did this thing in the first place? And they say, there's one guy, there's one lady. Why? Because you don't know the difference between water and wine again. All your mind is, let me just deliver wine every day, every week, so that the day you have a downtime, they will call a meeting and say, do you need us to increase your salary or something? Is there something that you want more? It's also termed being valuable. There are people that will not be able to come to work and they'll ask them, please, can you try from home? I know it may not be, can you try from home? Yeah, there is somebody else in the office that you can't say, I will not hear. They just say it under their breath. So when it comes to delivering what God has given to you, that is what He will use to glorify you. No matter what other things you try to put your hands on. When it comes to delivering what God has given to you, and you know that this is what God has delivered into my hand, anytime you have the point of delivery, deliver it to the point that God can turn it to wine. Give it your 100. Every time, give it your 100, because that is the point of it. There is no shadow boxing around it. That is literally what God will use to glorify you. He can't glorify you outside of what He has given to you. You have to know that. So you're thinking that maybe if you pray one prayer well, if you fast one fasting well, then God will just look at, okay, you, let me lift you. No. It is in your consistency, your diligence. Never want to give and have attitude. Never, just even if it is 5 minutes that you have, let that 5 minutes be a substance. Let it be that you it's like they should have given you 20 more minutes. This is God speaking to us. Every day, every moment, you're able to deliver substance. Let it be known with you that when it comes to quality, we'll get it from her. We'll get it from him. And most times, people cannot start taking advantage of you because of that. Because they know that no matter what, you will always deliver something nice. Don't let it bother you. Let it not be your concern. Because you are doing it unto who? The Lord. You are doing it unto the Lord. It's very difficult to take, because when you continue to deliver substance after substance, wine after wine, people will come to expect it from you and then try to, take advantage of that. But that should not be your concern, because you know not the day. And I tell you, this is exactly how God will glorify you. Exactly how God will glorify you. So go and look at the water you have been serving all this while. And can you yourself drink of that? Or you go and look for borehole? If someone served that to you, will you drink of it? I said I will not preach a message that me myself I cannot listen to. That by the time I listen to it, then I will just ask God for forgiveness. If what you have been serving is served to you, will you receive it? Or will you look for another? You have to ask yourself that question. And honestly answer. Honestly answer. Critically look at it. For this one, I can never even speak to English well. I will now come and sit down. No. Critically look at it. Can you drink what you're serving? You're a young girl looking for a fine man to marry. You hear a wonderful person speaking on something that concerns relationship. Will you want to listen? So you have 30 seconds to impress a person when you begin to speak. Will you give the person 1 minute? Will you give yourself 1 minute? That's why you have no chance for. Better to go and stay in the secret place and continue building yourself. Better to go and enroll in schools that you know that will enhance your gift. Because once you start serving, there should be no downtime. There's no opportunity for a downtime. There is no sorry. You don't even have, you don't know who is going to listen to it. You don't know who is going to hear you. You don't know who is going to see your work. So you will not have the opportunity to tell them, sorry, that day I didn't really prepare. I was just, the person that is just watching your video from America, for instance, how you don't even have money to go to the airport. How will you go and tell the person, sorry, that day I was just not ready. I just woke up from sleep. It wasn't like I was one on the roster that day. You don't have that time. You don't have that privilege. So at every point you get to deliver what God has given to you, you must deliver 100. That's why I prefer that you even say, sorry, no. I prefer you say, sorry, no. Not today. We'll understand. Oh, I'll understand. Definitely understand. But once you know that this that you're serving is going, people are going to drink it, then you must give your all. You must give your all at all times. Are we together? So God, at this time, will be looking to glorify. But can He glorify that which you're serving right now? So we don't pray and become people and say, but we have been praying about this, we have been doing this, I've been doing this and I've been doing this. Have you been doing the actual thing that He has given you to do well? Has He been giving you? And have you been doing it? Sometimes God shakes His head at the level of mediocrity, honestly speaking. Honestly speaking, God shakes His head at the level of mediocrity. And it's not because you are not gifted enough. It's just because you are not seeing that whatever you're doing, you are doing it unto the Lord. That you are doing it unto the Lord. There are times you tune into maybe a worship session or something, and then you are waiting for the main person because every other person that is just doing, thank God, thank God, thank God. You're waiting for the main person. And it should not be so. Everyone that has the opportunity to deliver should deliver well. Because you may not have the opportunity again to reach those people. What if that is the last time that they are ever going to hear you for one reason or the other? Not that you are doing of yours, but that's because one thing about life is God designed in such a way that there are people you meet that you may try to meet them again, but that door will close forever. You will not see them again. Trust me, there are people that you are people from your past that you will try to meet again. You even arrange the meeting, but something will happen and it will, like, both of you will never cross paths again. If you like planning and plan it well, and it has been said that your chapter has closed, it has closed. Be best friend in university, be best friend in secondary school, be best friend from your childhood. Once the door of your meeting has closed, you will never meet them again. So what if you have that opportunity to with people like that? What will you now say? What would you say? You can never catch Jesus in one corner. Said, I brought this guy to your disciples and they could not heal him. So if the disciples could not do that, means you too. You just, Oga, try your hand. Try your hand. Even if the Bible is just coming down from the mountain, and no matter how much you pray, at some point you will sleep and wake up. Just coming down with that. I brought him to your disciples. Yeah, I will open and say, eh? And that's one thing about your gift. It doesn't matter where they catch you. It doesn't matter the corner you are in. Once there is a demand for it, it's activated. If there was no demand for the water, there was no need to serve wine. So God makes sure that sometimes your gift is only activated at the point of demand. That is why you see some people try to do some things that it may not really work the way you have always been thinking to work. But once there is a demand for it, even without your praying, it's like an antenna. It's always looking for a demand. Once one person is able to demand for that thing that you have, that you carry, you will see it working. So there is a part of the grace, and then there is the part of your own work. That's what I want you to get from that. There is a part of grace, and then there is a part of your own work. So when it comes to the part of the grace, that is where your prayer and your fasting and your word study life works. That is where it comes into play, because grace is multiplied. Grace, you receive grace for grace. Grace is multiplied. So you're praying and you're fasting and you're studying the word. All of that is for the grace dimension of your gift. Now, you can get to the point where you now begin to rely more on the grace and less on your own work. So you don't develop yourself. You don't study. You don't read about people that have gone before you. You don't see what they have done. You don't see what they can do or what they could do with the grace that they have. You just remain small, mediocre. Are we together? But when grace meets diligence, it's like an explosion. When grace meets diligence, there's literally an explosion. Hard work, studying, day after day, night after night. Not because you're not graced, but because you want to. You see, grace is limited by knowledge. You have to know that. The grace you carry today is limited by what you know. Taking the example of a graphic designer again, for instance, if someone is is okay, a minor graphic designer, meet someone that is an expert graphic designer. When the grace begins to work in both of them, there will be a difference. Not because it's a different kind of grace, but because the grace is meeting knowledge in this person. Is meeting greater knowledge in this person. So grace is like water. Any shape you give it, it will take it. If your container is a cup, it will take it. If it is a drum, it will take it. Am I speaking with someone? So you must ensure that you continue to grow in knowledge so that your grace can see spaces to expand into. You get it? Ensure that you continue to grow in knowledge so that the grace you carry can see spaces to expand, to flow into. So as you continue to add knowledge and you are diligent enough in that, definitely the grace you get will continue to flow into those spots. And so when you serve it, you serve it to such, the taste is different. And they asked him, said, every man at the beginning of the feast will set out the good wine. Then when men are drunk, then they bring forward that which is less. So don't ever think that the people that have gone before you have served the best wine. No. God designed in such a way that those that are coming will serve better wine than what they served. Because we can get into that fallacy of complacency and say, look at what these people have done. They have done the best. Look at what this person designed. There is nothing that can be better than that. You are lying. That means you don't understand how God works. Whatever they did should be a part, a little of what you can do. As many as believed in me, greater what? Works. greater works. That's the blueprint. That's the plan. So don't ever say that the wine that people have drunk before, that's the best that they can ever drink. No. Then you are not ready to make full use of the calling that is on you. You are not ready to make full use of the purpose that God has given you. Every man at the beginning does set forth good wine, and when men are well drunk, you will think that they can't take again. You will think that these people have taken too much. Have you not studied the spirit of a man, that they can host 6,000 spirits? So your mind, you are thinking that with all the wine that is out there, they can't take your own. Your own is too small. No. When they brought it out, then the party part 2 started. Part 2 started. Your own party is waiting to start. You are the only hindrance. You are the only hindrance to your own party. The men they've taken too much. They've drunk the best one. Even you tasted the wine yourself. You saw how good it is. And you started doubting yourself. Can I do something better? Yes, you can. Can I bring something better? Yes, you can. It doesn't matter what they have done, except it is not God that you are working with. Except it is not God that you are working with. It is glory to glory. There is no going back. There is no stagnancy with God. It is continual elevation. So the more you see him, the more you want to see him. The more you know him, the more you want to know him. That's the same way it is with you. That the more that you begin to serve your wine, the more that should be coming out of you. Even more than what the other people have come up with. So never settle, never get into that place where you say, no, this person has done so much. It can even be the name of what you want to do. Let them be the name. Know that there is a better wine in you. It's there. It's there. Whether you believe it or not, it is there. It is faith that calls it out. Faith calls it out. From that water, you turn it into wine that no man has ever tasted. So that they begin to wonder, from whence cometh this? Where have you been hiding? Where have you been all this while? You know that God has set a time for your glorification. And you bow down your head and ask God to remove that limitation. There's that limitation that is evident to every man, that makes them believe that they can't do better than what has been done. Mandele bruska vantele brekushke savanti lebradauske lekete. Rabadan de rikuske vratila prakatushke lekete. There is more in me. There is more in me. Better than the world has seen. Better than the world has seen. Oh, they may have seen a lot, but there is still more. They are not satisfied. They may look drunk, but when you bring something that is better, when you bring a wine that is tastier, they will still take it. Can you pray for the grace to be diligent? Pray for that grace to be diligent. Maybe that is your own problem. You are serving wine, you are blessing, but diligence. Not one good today and bad tomorrow. Diligence, consistency. That God will help you see that all that you do is unto him, not unto man. That all that you do is unto him, not unto man. That all that you do is unto him and not unto man. Manderi Sudan Baraboske Vetele Brekeshitata. Rapandere Ketula Brekisa Lakata. That you will not miss the season of your glorification. That you will not miss the season for your glorification. Marakada Eronska Vandere Balekete. Embrateska vantele breka shule peleketele kuskabra. Arapanderikata. Can you pray that prayer? Say, Lord, I will not miss the season of my glorification. Maba edo esutata. Arapendarakiata la kuskete. Emprakata leketushka la brakiska lageda. Roske brekete. Not by demonic manipulation, not by my own doing, Lord. Asaka ika ebesa lakete. Embrata la costa bralatia la bosca pitala. Emalakata angele branda la kuta. Embraso le breita la gata. Ropende ricata la tisha. Enkoba akobele. Raboske benderaita. Rasoteia branda la kuta lebede. Ebratos benda ratia ratonda rabande ratoste. Ekobadosiada. Repetete. Esobralaka, Rakandeia, 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 Rosa Breketolepiana, Rosatila Pratata, Rapapapa, Esobricata, Rasobeleketelekere, Esoprata la Kilabosca, Epapapa, Rapanda. Is somebody praying? Is somebody praying and crying to God that I will not miss the season of my glorification? Aka, Sopeleketelekete. That I will not see myself too small. Rapesia. That I will not see myself as incapable. That I will not see myself as inferior. Amaka. Asobreleketia, Ragadadadadida, Ragadapalagada, Rotia, Epalagada, Raketalabo, Asobreleketa, Apratilagada, Akopetete, Aratolebre. Can you ask the Lord to break every stronghold that allows you to think of yourself too small? Arakitelekete, Rapapapa. Jesus said, my time has not come. Only if he had read the book and saw that was a season for his glorification. What has this got to do with you? He has got everything to do with you. Amaya mana. Esobele, what has this got to do with you? This is what God wants to use to glorify you. Esiatala, swate, maragatata, Acobelegede, Ecobre, Oswate na. The king wants to drink your wine. The king wants to drink of your wine. The king wants to drink of your wine. Emananana. Esobrenegedoy, Eswata la brida, Embrakatatata, Reketo sobeleketo, Rika sopenda la partiada, Esobronde legide de dosha, Emalusu vendere